Advertising is a form of marketing communication used to encourage, persuade or manipulate an audience, that's viewers, readers or listeners, a specific group. It influences them to take or continue to take some action. Most commonly, the desired result is to drive consumer behaviour with respect to the commercial offering. Some actions can be to buy a product, give to charity, convert your perception, use a service, or vote. The purpose of advertising is to help increase the demand for goods and services by the consumers. Other forms of advertising are aimed at raising awareness or informing the population of new developments in the socio-economic arena. Advertising is known to be effective when combined with other marketing tools. Another purpose of advertising is to hold on to the existing share of market and reassure existing customers of quality. For example, Coca-Cola are well known all over the world and they don't really have to advertise their products. However, there are adverts on billboards and TV to reassure customers the quality of their product and, most importantly, hold on to their existing customer base. Language of persuasion can be vital in the media industry. The goal of most media messages is to persuade the audience to believe or to do something. Persuaders use a variety of techniques to grab the audience's attention, to establish credibility and trust. This is to stimulate desire for the product or policy and, most importantly, to motivate the audience to take action. Some techniques include repetition, use of statistics, rhetorical questions, emotive language, superlative language, promotions or offers. This advert is targeted at men who enjoy the drink Foster's. The advert is about men who have a situation. They phone up two Australian guys who are ironically drinking a can of Foster's. A lot of people in the UK believe that life down under is almost like paradise, and most people's dreams are to live in Australia. There are long shots of a typical sunny day on a beach that will catch the audience's attention. The main persuasive device in this advert is reward. In this advertisement, the main message that comes across to the audience is reward yourself with a can of Foster's when in a difficult situation, and all your worries and problems will disappear and then you can have a good time. This advertisement is really effective because the last clip we see is a can of Foster's beer stood next to a glass full of the product with a voiceover saying, "Good call," which is another example of the persuasive device reward. This clip gives the impression that drinking Foster's can help the drinker feel relaxed and forget about anything that's worrying them. Another persuasive device that's being used in this advertisement is demonstrating how the product fulfills its needs. In this case, the need for self-esteem, the need to feel good about yourself. This is demonstrated by one of the Australian guys telling the other that they are really good at painting, when we can clearly see from the advert that the painting looks like it's been painted by a child. This is targeted at drivers, both male and female. It's promoting the message to not drink and drive. This persuasive technique is punishment. It makes the person feel bad. This device is really effective as it persuades the audience to not drink and drive unless they want to live with the consequences of, say, losing their job, having no money. The advert shows this punishment persuasive device by playing on our fears. Some fears can be security, fears about our safety, or the safety of our future, our families, fear for our health, and also the fear of not fitting in or being alone or not having any friends or relationships. This advert has clearly been targeted at women who want to or already dye their own hair. The persuasive device that this advertisement uses is using a well-known celebrity who women dream to look like. In this case, L'Oreal have used Cheryl Cole. There are lots of close-ups of Cheryl's face and long shots of the colour of her hair. Cheryl is seen as an idol to most women and she's always seen in magazines and on TV with different hairstyles and colours. She always looks glamorous, and this is another persuasive device known as identification and imitation. A successful advert will address a need and demonstrate how this particular product fulfills that need. In this case, the need for self-esteem. By using close-ups of Cheryl's hair and the outcomes of the product, it highlights that you, the user, will have super soft, glossy hair with no ammonia in the product. This advertisement was effective because of the use of superlatives that are repeated throughout the ad, things like super. This emphasises that the product is the best product in the current market. This advert is targeted at adults, challenging them to find a way of saving money when food shopping at supermarkets. A persuasive device that has been used here is needs, as it's part of your basic living needs. Another persuasive device is agreement of values, and this is a strong device because the communication offers value messages that the user or the customer are bound to agree with and then want to try for themselves. Using a young girl as part of this ad can be another persuasive device, as she seems to be cute and innocent, and people are drawn to listen to what she has to say. The bright yellow price tags above the product are eye-catching and encourage the audience to consume the information. This will also help the audience realise how the prices of similar products can differ. By using a direct price comparison in the advert, it can be seen as a technique to encourage the audience to shop at Aldi, as they sell the same products but at a cheaper price. A realist narrative advert is an advertisement with a story appearing to be both believable and realistic. This is effective because you can show someone using a product in a practical sense. One of the audience can see the product being used in a normal everyday environment, and they might want to try this out because of how useful or enjoyable it appears to be, and because they can relate to that. This advert is an example of a realist narrative advert, as it appears to be set in real life. The product suggests that this is a normal day-to-day activity in the Redknapp household. An anti-realist narrative is the opposite of a realist narrative. Although it tells a story, the story is made out to be surreal and fictional, something that will never happen to the audience. Producers have the freedom to use CGI and fantastical ideas of which will never actually happen. The purpose of this form is to be humorous, meanwhile making the product seem good. Anti-realist narrative adverts allow the audience to leave their real life and be taken to a fictional world, offering a sense of escapism. Animation is a motion picture or television film consisting of a series of photographs, drawings, objects or computer graphics that simulates motion by recording very slight, continuous changes in the images, frame by frame. Animations can be recorded on either analog media, such as a flipbook, videotape, or on a digital media, including formats such as animated GIF and flash animation. Stop motion animation is best used to describe animation created by physically manipulating real-world objects and photographing them one frame of film at a time to create the illusion of movement. This type of construction can either be 2D or 3D, and in addition they're mainly bright, outstanding colours to catch the audience's attention. This is effective as it easily grabs attention, and some animation techniques can be startling or unusual in sequence, or create a sudden move, shimmer or computer-generated special effects. Talking Heads adverts are where everyday people are interviewed to give their opinion and ideas. We can relate to these adverts and the people in them because they are constructed using medium to close-up shots, giving a sense that they are speaking directly to the audience. This makes the advert more personal, so the audience feel more inclined to donate, knowing that they could help someone like himself or herself, or anyone in their family. A documentary advert uses facts to inform and persuade the audience of the benefits of using their product. One example of a documentary advert is the Colgate toothpaste ad. This is a documentary style because we can see it in a real-life setting, rather than contrived settings like other adverts use. The narrator also plays the part of an expert on the topic, in this case oral hygiene. They also tend to have a calm-sounding voice, which further adds to the persuasion of this type of advert. This is effective as it directly attracts the attention of the target audience. Their target audience is typically adults and young adults, as it plays on the adults' need to keep healthy by telling them it will get rid of problems like plaque and other important factors An advert using parody is one who references existing texts. This advert has been constructed to parody a famous survival expert such as Bear Grylls or Ray Mears. It uses the same conventions as a documentary style, such as filming in a real location with natural lighting and not adding any soft effects, leaving the material raw. This parodic effect can be used to attract both children and adult audiences. It can be used to attract children, as it plays on a child's desire for adventure, and yet attracts adults as a documentary and is more appealing to adults rather than children. In addition to this, it also attracts audiences, as it parodies famous icons which they're likely to recognise. This keeps their attention. Also, at the end, the narrator begins to explain the health benefits of the cereal, which attracts adults, as they can understand this information rather than children. Consequently, they're persuaded to buy the cereal, as they believe their children will become healthier due to the high levels of calcium. This advert uses sex appeal and some humour to grab the audience's attention, mainly men. In this advertisement, there are hundreds of women in bikinis running towards one man. This style of advertising is appropriate for this product, which is Lynx Billions. Lynx is aimed at a male audience who will respond more to sex appeal than any other styles, and therefore it makes this advert more successful because it suggests to the male audience that by using Lynx, they will attract a lot of female attention. A surreal advert is similar to an anti-realist narrative, something that will never happen in real life. This is a very surreal and unique advert. In terms of concept and method of creation, it's an animated advert because colourful rabbits made out of Play-Doh run around a busy city, which isn't likely to happen in everyday life. This creates a fictional world which the audience can imagine of impossible things that can't really happen. Later into the advert, the audience can see the amount of effort the producers have put in because it's quite clear that they've had a high budget to work with. This surreal concept gives the audience a warm feel, as for many this advert would bring back memories of old animated programmes that used a similar method of creation. The audience can also appreciate the work that went into the creation of this ad, from how impressive it looks. This advert uses a famous face to help promote Sky. In this case, Sky has used David Beckham. The audience will be immediately able to recognise his face and be able to connect positive aspects of him with Sky. There are also many people who look up to David Beckham and see him as a role model. Having a famous face in the advert will also make the ad more memorable because famous people like Beckham have a large following who will spread the word and will remember the advert quite well. This style of advertising is appropriate for the company they're trying to promote. Sky is a well-known large company, and by using a famous face in their advertisement, it will remind the audience that Sky provides good services to worthy famous people. This advert is very successful as it displays all of Sky's services while showing a famous person using them and advocating their services. Brand identity is the visible elements of a brand, such as colours, design, logo, name, symbol, or any other feature that identifies and distinguishes the brand in the consumer's mind. Brand identity is the proposal or the promise that an organisation makes to consumers. Brand identity really works when you should be able to recognise the brand even if you don't see the logo. For example, Netflix Red Envelope is a simple yet powerful example of a brand identity where people recognise the envelope without seeing the name Netflix. Unique selling point, also known as USP, is one of the basics of effective marketing. A USP can help consumers by saving them time when they are considering buying a product or service. By stating simply and clearly why your product is different from other competitors, you can begin to influence the customer to desire and want your product. By having a unique selling point, each advertisement must make a proposition to the consumer. The proposition must be one the competition cannot or does not offer. It must be strong enough to attract new customers, as well as appealing to current customers who may be open to the idea of extending their products and services with you. It must also be unique, either the brand or in a claim the rest of that particular advertising area does not make. For example, Domino's Pizzas promise you fresh hot pizza delivered to your door. in less than 30 minutes or it's free. Something else another pizza company doesn't offer. The Advertising Standards Authority, also known as the ASA, is the UK's independent regulator for advertising across all media. They apply the advertising codes which are written by the Committees of Advertising Practice. This includes acting on complaints and proactively checking the media to take action against misleading, harmful or offensive advertisements. The ASA makes sure that all UK advertising, wherever it appears, is legal, decent, honest and truthful. The UK advertising codes are rules for advertisers, agencies and media owners to follow. They include rules that state advertising must be responsible, must not mislead or offend, and specific rules that cover advertising to children and ads for specific sectors like alcohol, gambling, motoring, health and financial products. Each year, the UK sees millions of advertisements, direct marketing and sales promotions about products, services, causes and awareness campaigns. The majority of these advertisements comply with the advertising rules. The ASA take action against those that don't. Last year, in 2013, the ASA dealt with over 30,000 complaints, and they assured every one of those concerns and investigated ads that seemed to breach the rules. As a result, over 4,000 ads were changed or withdrawn in 2013.